Next stop on the World Surf League Tour, it's Margaret River for the Boost Mobile Pro. I'm thinking John, but so is everybody else. Gabriel Medina's been in every finals this year. Jack Robinson. Ethan Ewing's power hack. Caroline Snap, man. The Spartan? Connor Coffin, though. Dude, Italo's pissed. But is it going to help him or is it going to hurt him? I prayed to Huey and all the surf gods that Morgan Sibilic does not get any heat with John. What about Jordy? I never picked Jordy. Hey, what is up, everybody? It's Old Surf Dad. Welcome if you're new. In this episode, what we're going to do is have story time, a special Western Australia edition. Then we're going to jump in and look at the surf forecast for Margaret River. And finally, I'm going to make my fantasy surf picks. But first, let's talk about our surf league. So we have a surf league around here called Over the Falls. If you'd like to join, just look in the description below. Click on the link and you'll be added to the roster. Last week's winner was Georgino for the Narrabeen event. Hey, Georgino, I got you this special trophy. Can anyone name this spot? It's on a secret West Coast surf spot. It's actually not a secret at all. And the spot is right there, roughly, where it says fantasy, is the peak. Anyway, tell me in the comments below if you know where this location is. And good luck, everybody, in the next event, Margaret River.
It's story time!
Okay, whatever.
So before I was Old Surf Dad, I was just young surf, I guess. It was in 1998, I bought this Ford Falcon in Australia, and I drove it down the East Coast. I bought it in Queensland and surfed all kinds of great waves at the end of dirt tracks, and eventually decided I was going to drive across Australia. And I actually made a stop off in Adelaide just to get a registration for this car so I could sell it on the West Coast. And it was like $19 for my rego. Anyway, the adventure took me across the Nullarbor, and one of the roads, it's a world famous road, it's 90 miles straight. You could just set the steering wheel and just go 90 miles. There's huge red kangaroos. It's crazy. And so as I drove across the desert, I tried to drive behind what they called road trains, which are trucks with just semi-tractors like we know, with just 3 or 4 18-wheel trailers behind them. It was insane. Anyway, so I drove across Australia, stopped off and took pictures with things. Look at that handsome guy. That was a long time ago, man. And I used it as a hotel. I slept out of the car every night, fished often for dinner, and hung out with some other guys that were doing the same type of thing. And one of the neat things is as you get towards southwestern Australia, it's a great Australian bight, and there's cliffs where you can camp. And on these cliffs, down below is the ocean and whales, and you can hear the whale songs echo up the cliffs. It's amazing. And eventually we got to Western Australia, where I spent a couple weeks just surfing what is paradise. So this was my first view of Margaret River, which is an incredible wave. And the wave that I really wanted to surf, and it started breaking, and I was not prepared for what it's actually like. It's insane. It's North Point. And so I was driving out to North Point, and you'll notice here for my American friends that we're driving on the left, but I had woken up very early to go to North Point, and I was driving on the right. I was out of my mind. I wasn't thinking, and I'd driven on the left the whole entire trip. I've been in Australia more than a year collectively. And this one morning I was driving on the right and a guy was coming into my lane. I was like, dude, what are you doing driving on the wrong side of the... And then I realized, and we both pulled off the same direction trying to get out of the way. And he ended up scraping the back end of my Ford Falcon, took kind of the end off, you can see. And he had rubars. So all that happened to his car was he just scraped his rhubar a little bit and it kind of took off my quarter panel, and you can see kind of right here, the back bumper came off. And he gets out and he's yelling and screaming, and I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. And as soon as he found out I was American, he's like, oh, she'll be right, mate. And he just left. And so then I'd see him every now and then at the coffee shop or at the pub or just around town, and he'd go, oh, there's the guy that drives on the right, mate. And I just got the piss taken out of me for the rest of the trip. But dream trip, I encourage everybody to go there. What an incredible place. I'm sure it's changed in the last 20 years. But yeah, a lot of memories. Yo, how good is it to live in Western Australia? I mean, they get bombarded by surf pretty much year-round, but especially this time of the year. April, May is really good, and we're also going to possibly get great conditions with highs setting up in the southwest and giving us some offshores. But this forecast looks amazing. And remember, this is a long-term forecast. This is way out, but a week from today, it's meant to be 8 to 12 feet, 15 to 20 feet on Sunday the 2nd. Every time I've done this, it has changed. But the point is, there's going to be waves, and it's Western Australia. Look at this forecast. The entire week, there's going to be waves between 8 to 12 feet, 6 to 10 feet on the smaller days, and so on, 10 to 15 feet. So what we know is the waves are going to be good. I'm not picking air guys. I'm picking power surfers. I'm picking men and women that can ride the tube, because look forward to some box, look forward to even possibly North Point. I would love for them to run up to North Point and get some of those waves. So anyway, surf forecast is looking good, as it always is in Western Australia. Let's get into it, the women's fantasy picks. First up, we have Tier A. And this is shocking. Carissa Moore or Caroline Marks. I'm not picking Tatiana. I dare you to take her. You never know what could happen. But for me, it's between Caroline Marks and Carissa Moore. Carissa Moore actually looked vulnerable, and Tatiana took her apart. Tatiana got better waves. Tatiana surfed really well. It was very impressive. Carissa just didn't look like Carissa in that heat. I still think she could easily win this event, but I'm going to go with Caroline Marks. I can't believe I'm going to say that. I'm picking Caroline Marks for my power surfer. Next up, Tier B. Tier B. Tyler Wright. Let's start with Tyler Wright. I just found out during the course of making this video that Tyler Wright has a broken ankle or a bruised ankle. I didn't get exactly clear what that report said, but she is injured, and that probably explains why I just didn't see her surfing well at all, especially in Narrabeen. It looked like she was hurting or something was going on. I said she wasn't focused, which I'm not sure she's 100% focused either, but that injury will say a lot towards that. But let's do this. Let's pick Courtney Conalog for sure. And with my other pick, man, I know Sally's won it before. I know Steph surfs really well here. I'm going to do something crazy and call Malia Manuel up. And remember, this is just my first pick. This is just my first run through. I'm going to come back and do reselect. So tune in for that video once the contest gets started. Once the elimination round is done, then that starts to count. in the first 16, round of 16 for the women, round of 32 for the men. I will reselect at that point. And remember, you have to do it before they start the round of 32 or round of 16. So I'm going to start with these picks so far. I like it. Malia Manuel surfs well in big waves. I love her style. I don't know if she's radical enough for it. But I want to watch her surf before I make any choices. And also, you can avoid friendly fire when you do reselects if you have two of the same surfers and surfing against each other. Let's go to Tier C. At Tier C, I looked at these, and I think Macy Callahan is solid. I think Brisa Hennessy is better in smaller waves. But Bronte McCauley is at home and will do well. But check this out. I think Sage Erickson is underrated here, and I'm going to go ahead and go with her. She's good in big waves. She knows what's up. She's competitive. She's got power turns. She's got power turns in big waves. I'm going with Sage. Those are my picks for the women. Next up, my picks for the men. What's interesting is right now, I cannot pick my men. It's Sunday night, and I got to go to work tomorrow and have a heavy week. And WSL, sort yourself out. You'll notice it says empty here, and we can't pick. That's because they haven't opened the selections yet. So I will do that in the video right after this. But right now, I'm going to have to wait a day or two until they get it together. All right. Yes, so we are live. It's Monday, the 24th of April. At around noon today, the men's fantasy picks went live. I had a quick look at it. I didn't make any decisions. I always like to do that live on the air and see what happens. It's a lot more exciting that way. I like to talk my way through it, and I like you guys to see what my thought process is. I don't know what yours is. I don't think you're going to pick exactly what Old Surf Dad is because he's not always right, as you have found. But I am about 1,500th on the overall standings. My goal, man, I want to break 1,000, but I would love to be in the top 100. If any of you have ever made it in the top 100, or even better, please tell me about it in the comments below. Brag about it. Tell us. Give us all hope, as I feel like you have to pick almost the perfect setup every time to be in that class. But let's go ahead and jump right in. In Tier A, I get 2 picks. And there's the first 3 are the usual suspects. Gabriel Medina coming off a hot win. Italo Ferreira, an upset, controversy. I'll probably talk a little bit about that in a second. John Florence, again beaten by Morgan Sibilic. That was pretty crazy. Morgan Sibilic's surfing out of his mind. And again, he's a Tier A pick. I'm not going to pick him. I'm not going to pick Jordy or Felipe or Kainoa. But I can tell you this. Connor Coffin in the Margaret River Pro is a great pick. It's a great pick. Kainoa is not bad either, actually. I mean, none of these guys are a bad pick. This is Tier A. Are you kidding me? But it's very difficult. But I am going to choose John for sure. I'm actually going to make him my power surfer. And it's not because, oh, he's had 2 bad heats and he's really looking to change things and he's upset and he's going to charge. And no, man, the guy's got history here. You know what I mean? The guy has been consistently good at Margaret River, and it looks a lot like Hawaii, and it surfs like Hawaii, and I think that is in John's favor. Now let's look at this next pick. Gabriel Medina has not historically done well here, but he could come in and win this event on his momentum. I will, however, be picking Italo Ferreira, and I'm going to tell you, do I think he got ripped off? I got a lot of comments asking me, do I think he got ripped off? And it's been covered pretty well. I wanted to make a video about it. I've just been so busy making this video, and I have a full-time job and I'm a dad. I couldn't give you a full video about this, but I can tell you, I do think that he probably should have won the heat. When you look at it overall, Connor Coffin surfed just as well as he did, just in a different way. An old school part of me loves Connor Coffin's, ripping and gouging. But Elo Ferreira, I don't think he necessarily just got ripped off on that wave, on that air, but he got ripped off on that left-hander he had where he ripped 3 turns, and I think he was underscored. Even Luke Egan on the beach said that. And I think that would have changed things for the tiebreaker. But let's talk about that air real quickly. I think the best explanation, and Ross Williams sort of stole my thunder on this, is this. If he would have landed that huge air, let's say he gets a 9. It's probably higher, but let's say he gets a 9. Everyone gave him a 1 because he didn't make it, allegedly. I say, man, don't be so constrained and put yourself in the box of it's either a make or it's not. That's a 4. Give him a 4 or a 5 for that wave. And I'll put the link in the description below. I think Ross Williams and Mick Fanning do a really good job in getting heated, talking about that. So anyway, there were some people too that were upset that he broke his board. And that didn't bother me so bad. In fact, it's funny that the WSL didn't fine him. They let it go. In fact, they did the opposite. They used it kind of like reality TV and let him run with it and showed that. How many times have we seen him smash that board, that clip? I don't think he did anything, it's not the best sportsmanship. I agree with that, but he's not making the WSL look bad by talking bad about the WSL. He never said judging sucks. He never went Bobby Martinez on them. So I think the WSL has embraced it, and I bet they're going to get more ratings out of this. It's going to probably help their brand. If he does it again, I'm sure he's going to get a talking to. But anyway, Elo Ferreira, he surfs great in big waves. He's had some success here. And you take his big wave skills and you add to it the occasional creativity and air game that he has, and that's just a recipe for a win. I'm still going to go with the power surfing and air game of John Florence, so he's my power surfer. All right, let's get into Tier B. This is where you can really get some points, and the way I got points in Narrabeen was a lot of my power surfers were standing at the end. The very first guy I'm going to pick is Jack Robinson. I mean, this kid has been surfing West Oz, main break in particular, but specifically surfing the box. And I think with the surf report we're getting, we'll probably go to the box. And Jack Robinson, I'm going to put a clip up here of him surfing the box as a little kid. I mean, it's insane. So yeah, Jack Robinson's a pick for sure. My next pick, Federico and Ryan, I'm going to think about you. Yagadora, maybe. God, I just heard an interview on Ain't That Swell driving home tonight from work. And Jeremy Flores is with the Swellians, and it's live in Newcastle. And he is hilarious. He's got great stories. I highly recommend it. I'm going to put that in the link in the description below. So check that out for sure. Sorry, David Silva. No, I'm not going to pick you. Ethan Ewing. I think I'm going to go back to you. This is Holly Eva looking in. You are ripping in the Triple Crown, this digital Triple Crown they had this year. I'm picking you next. That's 2 Aussies. There might be some more. Wade Carmichael. Dude, this is finally time. I might put you in, man. I know you're saying, pick me. I might put you in, brother. I've been holding off on you. Julian Wilson, Jack Freestone, Leonardo. I'm going to pass on you guys. Adriano, I'm going to pass. Wow. I'm going to take Griffin. I think a lot of people are going to take Griffin. He surfed well. That was a tight heat he had against Connor. Connor got him in the end. I think I'm going to take... Yeah, let's take... It's you know what it's between right now for me, everybody? Frederico Moraes or Wade Carmichael. Let's look at this. Max heat, 13.84. Average heat, 10.23. Let's do some numbers. 8 and 12. That sounds Frederico to me. Look at his average heat. It's higher than most guys on here. Even though, now Jack Freestone's is pretty high as well. I want to go Frederico again. I just love what he's doing. I love his surfing. I think he's confident. He actually gave Gabriel Medina kind of a run for his money. So there's my team, and I like what I see. Again, as I said in the women's picks, I will be doing reselects. Look for that video before the round of 32 and the round of 16. All right, Tier C. I get 2 picks here. I'm not just going to make these picks. They're difficult. You guys, I know you're having a hard time too. Is it Owen Wright or Michel Perez? That's definitely the two I'm thinking of. Now look, Seth Moniz, this is his time to shine. This is Hawaii. He has the power game. He's a perfect pick, but I just don't think he's competitively savvy as some of these other guys. That's why I'm tempted to take Owen Wright or Michel Perez. And by the way, Michel Perez won this. He won the Margaret River Pro, but it's been 6 or 7 years. But he has that game. Let's take him. Michel Perez is one. Taking the Spartan. And I'm tempted to just go Reef Hazelwood because it's crazy. But I feel like Mickey Wright is due, man. He's been surfing like crap in these small waves. And I just saw him. You know what I'm influenced by? I'm going to admit it. He just dropped a video on Stab Mag, description below. I'll have the link. He was ripping backdoor and in Hawaii. I'm tempted to go Mikey Wright. Did I say Mickey Wright? I always say Mickey Wright. Why the hell did I say that? Mikey Wright. So there they are. There's the men's team. What do you guys think? Who's your power surfer? Tell me in the comments, man. All right, so that's my picks. Good luck, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.